upon the sacred book of Hermes Mercurius Trismegistus, the 3 times great ruler of 3 worlds, scribe of the gods, keeper of the books of life, that it be resolved on this day in plain view and witness of all attending gods and goddesses of this ruling pantheon, that from here on and henceforth all subsequent general council assemblies will by mutual agreement now be congregated at the 7th hour of Athena's day. And that hereupon a new select subcommittee, hereby designated as General Steering Spokes Forum, will continue to gather at the present time of 7th hour Poseidon's day, with each participant being fully informed and reminded that all such deliberation and consideration and discussion, etc., at such time be recorded as non-binding and merely advisory in nature. Verily then, do I now propose that this meeting be rightly and fully adjudicated as having achieved the final completion of fullness of being, yada, 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 etc., etc., that we may finally determine ourselves to adjourn. Each one of us to our own intrigue and dominion and opera, etc., etc., as this convocation of the associated great Olympians on this day, the 11th day of Aphrodite's conflict, absence of any summary objection, be declared now by the direct mandate of the general and undisputed consensus to be now closed.
Lord Zeus! I implore thee grant but a moment of thine audience.
Oh, by Cronus! Are you kidding me? Can we not now retire to our own affairs?
All-Father, I beseech thy consideration on a matter of dire import.
And as with scarce ever do I divine thy intention, young one, that thou wouldst speak as proxy for thine own meager creation, this arrogant and erratic humanity, who by your patronage are now hereby woven into the greater tapestry of our work. Speak, son of a Titan, what wouldst thou have us consider unto their behalf?
Lord Zeus, the people are freezing. The winds of winter have arrived, and they have no aegis for which to countermand such a bitter chill, whose severity is rendered all the more assaulting come nighttime, whence brave Apollo rides his benevolent chariot beneath the world, so that he might issue forth once again from his morning position to the east, and in doing so, bear some small token sponsorship to the warmth of the beings. But in time, against the snow that blows and bites, and the rain that sogs both shirt and skin, even as to purge the very last refuges of warmth from the very deep of mortal flesh and bone's marrow. And yea, by some consequence, some perish of this.
Athena, you wish to speak?
This is very troubling to me, because as it has been pointed out, these humans are undeveloped as yet. They lack. They lack skills in negotiation. They're mortals. Often they lack empathy. I fear that if they are given fire, it will only be a matter of time before they turn it to fashioning implements of war that will rain mass destruction upon each other. And of course, their rulers, for profit and greed, will take advantage of their poverty. And if they are under threat of lack of shelter or cold, they will surely join unjust wars to go fight them. And those who survive will return home to cold and hunger once more. I don't know. I fear for their suffering either way. But is it our job to do anything about it?
What?
Okay, I'm going to make a stat here. We're going to go
I am Hades, Lord of the Underworld. Why do you speak of warmth and dryness? What will you speak of next, lad? Happiness, love, such silly things as that? When I was a young man and I complained about hunger and suffering and disease, they slapped me and told me to stop my whining. You should do the same thing with these clay toys.
Poseidon, let's say it here.
What is Prometheus asking for? Fire? What if the humans that he wants to have this fire cannot control it. Then will they ask for the waters of Poseidon to extinguish their fire?
Demeter.
Born from earth, they are of the harvest. I dreamed of them. Not only wily and clever, but full of desire for power and control. They will desire to control not only our fire, but each other and even the earth. First, they will take away each other's right to harvest what grows freely in the fields. Then they will take away the right to gather what the farmer drops. Then they will forbid people to shelter themselves in the harvest of both field and forest. In the fullness of time, they will even ban each other from covering themselves with distance to guard against the chill of night. Even the sack, when named for sleep, cannot shelter them, lest they be cruelly punished. Do you create them only to torture them? It goes too far. It is true some do respect the gifts that sustain life and seek to share them, yet without even the freedom to sleep where they fall, no amount of huts will ever.
And why is this of my concern? I hold no allegiance for these who are far my lessons, and who profess no fealty to me. Nay, and do I also bear a grudge in addition? For remember thee not, Prometheus, thy trickery of old, whence first we determined the ritual feast, and the rightful apportioning of due offerings thereof. As I stand before this council, I do recall this most unpleasant history. Wherefore by thine own sleight didst thou feign, as true, honest, and fair treaty, this lottery by which I held first auction of thy shrewd dividend of slaughtered beasts, which, having been burnt and rent in half, was a dividend misconstrued and falsely presented. Tricked as I was, I did then decide that this was my share, the one upon which thou hadst prepared a dressing richly adorned with fats and succulents.